Okay, so it's 4 a.m. And I don't even know if I'm going to upload this, but I just finished Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, and quite honestly, I'm at a loss for words. So I'm not going to get into spoiler territory here. Nor will I get into any other story elements, but I want to give my first impressions, let's say it like this. I want to give my first impressions. This movie honestly made me feel like no other before. So, if you know me, you might know that I have kind of a history with Evangelion. Uh, in the last year, on my social media platforms, people kind of got to know me for my love for K-On! And Kyoto animation shows, but before that I used to be, and I still am, a big Evangelion fan. I think I rewatched the original run of Neon Genesis Evangelion plus the end of Evangelion around 14 times, I think, over the last few years. I remember just last year I watched it 2 times. So it's fair to say, over the last few years, I got to quite like the Evangelion movies. I'm a big fan, you might even say. And watching the rebuild movies conclude and having had all this emotional pressure built up over the last few years over all these movies, and having all of this conclude the way it did in the movie, in the latest movie, was honestly just pure catharsis. It's just I I'm honestly at a loss for words. I wouldn't even know how to properly describe this besides masterpiece. Neon Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 probably, for me personally, is going to go down as the greatest movie of all time, I think. And I don't think this is recency bias or anything like that. I never tended to show any kind of recency bias, I think. And it's just all the movies that came before it and having the original run and having all of this conclude the way it did was just it was just so incredible to see, and having like all this build up emotional pressure kind of released. I know that sounds kind of weird, but having all this emotional build up pressure released, uh, it's just it's just crazy. It's the As I said, I'm not going to get into any story elements or anything like that because I want people to actually experience this show, and the movies, of course. But the way it concluded was the best possible way, I think. This movie couldn't have concluded in any other way. With this, I want Evangelion to end. With this, I want Neon Genesis Evangelion to come to an end. I don't want any other movies. I don't want another series or anything like that. I'm totally fine. No, I want this to be the ending point for Evangelion, because as it currently stands, uh, the original run and the reboot movies stand as one of the greatest pieces of fiction of all time, I think. And if you guys know me, you know I'm not a person to like get all too deep with movies and all that kind of stuff, but this movie genuinely touched the deepest parts of my soul. I think I don't think I've ever felt this emotional about a movie. I think and about about a movie, about a series like this. And I know that might disappoint some of you K-On! Fans out there. I'm quite disappointed in myself too, but no, honestly, I've never had anything touch me like this. This was just amazing, and I'm totally fine with Evangelion ending at this point. No, I'm actually really, really fucking happy about it. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon in a regular video soon. Bye, and goodbye, Evangelion.